Hey everyone, welcome and happy Thursday. Happy Thursday to you all. And it is Thursday. I told all of my friends this morning a very happy Friday to them, and I wish their Friday was going well. So, if you're like me, just remember today is indeed Thursday. So, welcome to Thursday night practice. So, a couple of logistics right off the bat. I do have my laptop back. This is very exciting for all of us. And I have my awesome tech husband um, on the other end, making sure that the audio and the video is good for you. So he will be letting me know if anything is going awry. Of course, if you guys have any troubles, just put it in the chat and we will get that fixed right away. But I think, as far as I can tell, we are all good to go here for practice tonight. So we have a really great practice set up for you guys today. I'm really excited to do this one. We are doing mindful acceptance. Mindful acceptance. So I'm really excited about that. So come on in, get settled, get comfortable, grab your water, grab your tea. We're going to do a little bit of education first and then jump into practice. So come on in, get settled. Feel free to grab a seat, sit on the floor if you're most comfortable, sit on a chair, the couch, whatever you've got. You can lay down for this one. It can get a little bit intense, so I recommend sitting if you're able to, but whatever is most comfortable for you. So we'll give everybody a minute here just to trickle on in. As you're coming in, feel free to hop in the chat. Let me know who's here. I'm so excited to have everybody come on for practice. So settling in. This is the first night I had to lower the shade because we're after our time change for the spring, and the sun, which I love, just streams through this window right into my face during this time. So I am so grateful for the beautiful sun that we do have, and so that I can see you all, we're gonna lower that shade tonight. So so glad you are all here. So with that, give everybody a second here. I'll grab my water. All right. So tonight, you guys have even got some notes over on the side here because I have some really important things that I want to share with you, and I feel like are really going to benefit the practice as we go through. So with that, as you're settled in, as you're comfortable, just settling in with ease, resting into wherever you're sitting, whatever you chose, and getting comfy, just listening in. So, one of the core tenets of empowered healing practices, and you'll know this if you've been with the channel for a while now, but one of the major tenets is the practices that we do here, right? Mindfulness, guided imagery, deep relaxation, and gratitude. All of these are designed, at least in part, to move our bodies, move us from our fight, flight, stress response when our sympathetic nervous system is active to our rest, digest, restore, our parasympathetic nervous system. Because when we are operating from our parasympathetic nervous system, we're operating from a place that is conducive to healing. If we're stressed out, our body's going to have a hard time supporting us in healing what it needs to heal, right? Because it's too worried about handling whatever's happening in the moment. So if we can shift that into a more calm, relaxed state, it's then conducive to healing. And so with that, we have a special practice tonight of mindful acceptance. And I want to share a quote to get us started. So this is one of my favorites, and I'm going to read it, make sure that I don't mess it up. It's by Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor, thriver, inspirational beyond words. And he says, between stimulus and response, there is a space. And in that space is our power to choose our response. And in our response lies our growth and our freedom. I love that so much. I'm going to read it one more time for you guys. Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. And in our response is our growth and our freedom. So often when we are on healing journeys and we are healing pain or illness or disease, that pain, illness, or disease is going to serve as a stimulus for us. And because we are human, and because pain and illness and disease can be heavy, and sometimes it can be hard, and it can be a struggle, our response to that stimulus can come from a place of judgment or storytelling. And the judgment or storytelling might sound something like this. I hate this. Why is it like this? Why won't it go away? This hurts so much. I don't think I'm ever going to get better. And just saying those words, and I imagine just hearing those words, you may start to feel the stress rising. I know I do. And so you can see how that judgment and that storytelling can really start to shift us subtly and unconsciously into our stress response to a place that is not conducive to our healing, as it's not helpful to our healing. And so what can we do about that? Because these things can be stressful, right? So what can we do? When we become mindful, we're practicing mindfulness, we can enter the space between stimulus and response. And before I talk about how do we enter that space, I'm going to talk a little bit about how dialectic behavior therapy, or DBT, outlines mindfulness. And again, I'm going to use my notes so I make sure to tell you the right buckets here. But mindfulness, as we describe it here on the channel, is paying attention in the present moment on purpose without judgment, right? Paying attention in the present moment on purpose without judgment. And that's the practice of mindfulness. And very similarly, DBT separates mindfulness into what skills and how skills. What are we doing and how are we doing it, right? And it aligns very well with the definition we've been using so far. So it's the what skills look like observing, describing, and participating. And the how skills, how do we practice mindfulness, are non-judgmentally, one mindfully, and effectively, right? And so we're going to bring that together with this idea of entering the space between stimulus, our pain, our illness, our disease, and our response. Because we can sit in that space, we can come into that space by leveraging those describe tools and doing so non-judgmentally. And that's what we're going to do in practice today. We're going to come into that space, enter the space between stimulus and response. And the tool we're going to use to be able to sit in that space safely is our describe skills. So I'm going to just walk you through what that looks like, and then we'll get into practice. So to describe something, right, whether that is an object, an emotion, a sensation, whatever it is, we're going to do so with facts alone. So we're removing the judgment, we're removing the storytelling, and we're simply describing what is. We're simply acknowledging what is, right? So if I have an object, Of course, I picked a sparkly one because you guys know me. If we pick this object and we describe it with facts alone, as if we're describing to a being who maybe has never even seen or heard of or experienced the object, emotion, or sensation before. And we simply describe it. And so I'm actually not going to describe this object, as pretty and as fun as it is. I'm going to invite you to imagine that this object is your knee, and your knee is in pain, and that's what we're trying to heal on our healing journey. And so how do I sit in that space between stimulus and response and describe the sensations in my knee with only facts? I might describe that as the knee is a joint on the leg that helps the leg bend. And I'm feeling a sensation of pressure, of sharp pain. It is right on my kneecap, which is at the front of the knee. This pain only occurs when I'm standing up and not when I'm sitting down. And I also experience a sensation of warmth. All right. So we're not, with that, I hope you can see we're not bringing in that extra judgment or storytelling around the sensation. We're simply describing and acknowledging what is there, right? So we're not bringing in, this really hurts. I don't like this. I wish it didn't hurt when I stood up. We're simply saying, I'm experiencing this sensation, and this is what the sensation feels like. Okay? So, with that, we're going to wrap up the education part with just a reminder of what is the point, right? Because as we enter the space between stimulus and response, using our describe skills to sit in that space, we take away the power from the judgment and the storytelling. When I say it has the power, I mean the power to change the physiology of your body, because you're changing the state of your nervous system. You're moving from, by taking away judgment and storytelling, you're taking away stress, which means you're moving into your parasympathetic nervous system and a place of healing. And you're doing that by simply sitting in the space and describing factually. So I'm going to lead you through this exercise. And again, the exercise is to help you come from a place of stress to a place of rest and relaxation. And we're not just going to sit with the pain the whole time. I promise you, we're not going to do that. I'm going to move you through some neutral objects into your body. We'll sit in that space for a moment, and then we'll move out. And the whole time, again, is to move into that place of rest, digest, and restore. So if it feels like a lot, or it feels like too much, or maybe it feels confusing because, boy, that was a lot of information all at once, it's okay. It's okay. And this might be difficult. You may not feel like you do it perfectly the first time, and that's okay. Suspend all judgment, give yourself some grace, and know that I am here to guide you and support you from start to finish as we go through practice tonight. So with that, settle in to a comfortable position, a mindful position. And at first, just settling into the posture. So noticing your feet on the ground, noticing where your shoulders are in relation to your ears and letting them drop away. Relaxing your forehead and your eyes, the muscles around your eyes. Relax your jaw and unstick your tongue from the roof of your mouth. I'm going to take a sip of water. And now just looking around the room and finding an object that you really love. It's beautiful, something you enjoy. You can go up and get it if you would like. You can just notice it from across the room, whatever works best for you. Find an object that really brings you some spark of joy, whatever that is. And when you have that object, this is your stimulus. And now we're going to choose how we respond to this object. With this object, either holding it in your hand, having it in front of you, or just observing it from across the room, begin either aloud or to yourself. Describe that object with facts only. Describe the colors, textures. Is there a smell, a taste? Use your senses to describe the object, suspending judgment and any stories you might tell with it. You don't have to describe it perfectly, just a few descriptive words or phrases. And once you have described this object, you can release it by simply stating the following phrase: this is. This is. And now, releasing that object, find another object in the room that is neutral to you. No particular spark of joy, no particular strong emotion on either direction, just an object in the room. Maybe it's a piece of carpet or the window, maybe a book on a table, just something very neutral that doesn't evoke much emotion at all. And now, holding or simply observing that object, once again describing with facts alone this object. Use all of your senses to simply describe with nothing but the facts, suspending judgment and any storytelling. And once you have described this object, you can release it simply by stating the phrase, this is. This is. And recalling that as we describe these objects, we're entering that space between stimulus, the object, and our response to that object by simply describing what is without judgment or storytelling. So now coming into the body, become aware of your body. Become aware of your feet making contact with the surface beneath you, and all parts of your body making contact with whatever surface you're on. Become aware of your breath. And here, take 3 deep breaths with me. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Becoming fully embodied right here, right now. And become aware of a neutral part of your body. A part of your body that doesn't evoke much sensation or emotion. Maybe it's your little finger or your big toe. Maybe it's your forearm or your earlobe. Wherever it is, choose a very neutral place in your body. Bring your awareness to the stimulus and step inside the space between your stimulus and response by describing this part of your body with only facts, suspending judgment and storytelling. What temperature is this part of your body? What texture does it have? What color is it? And as you describe this place in your body, you can release this place with acceptance, acknowledging this is. This is. And now bring to awareness a place in your body that you wish to bring healing. It may be a place of where you experience pain. It may be a place associated with illness or disease. And without judgment, simply become aware of this place in your body. Mindfully and with awareness, step inside the space between this stimulus and your response by describing only with facts your experience of this place. As best you can, suspend judgment and leave behind any additional stories you may tell or believe about this space. For now, just describe what is here right now. What is the temperature? What is the color? What is the function of this space? Where specifically is it located on your body? What sensation do you experience? If it's a pressure, a temperature change, a tingling, just describing the sensations with your 5 senses. It's okay if this is challenging. This is the practice. Give yourself grace to simply describe. And then releasing this place in your body, simply state and acknowledge with acceptance, this is. This is. And now releasing that place in your body, find a neutral place in your body. It could be the same place you picked earlier. It could be a new one. Maybe before you picked your left earlobe and now you pick your right earlobe. whatever you choose. Simply become aware of this neutral space that does not evoke any strong sensation or emotion. Go to that place. Step inside the space between stimulus and response and describe this area with facts alone, using your sensations, your five senses. And now releasing this area of the body, simply acknowledging with acceptance, this is, this is. And now releasing the body altogether, you can open your eyes and we're going to find a neutral object once more outside of our bodies. A neutral object somewhere in the room. The same object you had before, perhaps a new one. This is your stimulus. Step inside the space between stimulus and response to describe with facts alone this object. Use your five senses to describe this object. And releasing that object with a statement, this is. Find an object of joy, pleasure, happiness, something that sparks just a little bit of joy or a whole lot of joy out in the room, and holding it or observing it. Step inside the space between stimulus and response to describe this object with facts alone, suspending judgment and just describing. And now releasing that object one last time with an acknowledgement and acceptance. This is. This is. Gently coming into a comfortable seated position if you are not already. Gently closing your eyes with your feet flat on the ground, your hands resting comfortably in your lap. Take 3 deep breaths here with me, breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. Staying embodied and present in this moment once more. We'll conclude practice tonight with some gratitude. Repeat after me. I am grateful for this breath. I am grateful for this moment. I am grateful I showed up to practice tonight. And when you're ready, gently opening your eyes, I invite you to bring a slight smile or a big smile to your face. Again, just rolling out your shoulders, stretching if you need to stretch, tapping your feet on the floor, rolling out your wrists. And if you feel so inclined, popping into the chat to let me know how was your experience. I am so grateful for all of you that came here tonight. Of course, you can always catch this on replay. This was a new offering tonight where we combined some of our traditional mindfulness practices with some new learnings with our describe skills and our acceptance techniques. And I would love to hear from you what your experience was like. So join me over in the Facebook community. There's a link down below in the description box. Join me over there and let me know, how was this experience? What did you like? What do you want more of? If there was something you'd like me to change or do differently, let me know that too. If I won't see you over in the Facebook community, you can always reach out to me on email. By emailing empoweredhealingpractices@gmail.com. And don't forget to sign up over at the website so we can always stay in communication and you never miss a practice. I am so grateful once again that you all joined here tonight, and I will see you again in 2 weeks. Bye, everyone.